Shalom. Ah, yes. Early morning. Mishael. Proverbs 22. A good name is preferable to great riches. Favor is better than silver and gold. The rich of the poor meet together. The rich and the poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. A clever one foresees evil and hides himself. But the simple go on and are punished. The reward of humility is the fear of Yahweh. Riches and esteem and life, thorns, snares. Riches and esteem and life, thorns, snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his life keeps far away from them. Okay, so that's together. So thorns, snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his life keeps away from them. Okay. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he turns not away from it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He who sows unrighteousness reaps trouble, and the rod of his wrath perish. He who has a good eye is blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scoffer, and strife goes out, and contention and shame cease. He who loves cleanliness of heart, whose speech is pleasant, a sovereign is his friend. The eyes of Yahweh shall watch over knowledge, but he overthrows the word of the treacherous. The lazy one says, "There is a lion outside. I am going to be murdered in the streets." The mouth of the strange woman is a deep pit. The one denounced by Yahweh falls in there. Folly is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline drives it far from him. One oppresses the poor to increase his wealth. Another gives to the rich only to come to poverty. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge, for they are pleasant. If you guard them within you, let all of them be ready on your lips, that your trust might be in Yahweh. I caused you to know today, even you. Have I not previously written to you of counsel and knowledge, to cause you to know the certainty of the word of truth, to return words of truth to those who send to you? Do not rob the poor because he is poor, and oppress the afflicted at the gate, for Yahweh pleads their cause, and shall plunder those who plunder them. Make no friend with one given to wrath, and do not go with a man of rage, lest you learn his ways, and find yourself ensnared. Do not be one of those who shakes hands in a pledge, one of those who are guarantors for debts. If you do not have the means to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you? Do not move the ancient boundary which your fathers have set. Do you see a man who is skilled in his work? He does stand before sovereigns. He does not stand before obscure ones. All right. Lots of gems in this one. I'm actually going to talk about some of this stuff today. Yesterday was a little rushed because I waited too long, but I'm going to go through. A good name, your reputation, preferable to great riches. That's your reputation, your name precedes you. People know of you, and if they know good things of you, then it's more than wealth sometimes. It says favor is better than silver and gold. So it's about the relationships you build. You can buy a lot of things with money. You can do a lot of things with money. You can buy status with money sometimes. But when it really counts, the relationships you build, the people you pour into, the networks you establish, that can be worth more than all the riches of the world. You know, and it's one of the things that I am not great at. I haven't had a chance. Well, no, that's not true. I've had chances. I haven't had the will or the desire to actually actively work on it. You know, we can only spin so many plates in the air, right? And you can only spin one plate really well. Everything else are just kind of multitasking, and multitasking is just really failing. And it grieves me to some degree, because there's a lot of relationships that we left out of when we made the decision to come out here, and we're slowly building new relationships, but it's tough. It's tough to think, you know, like, we really don't have anyone that I don't have anyone in my immediate area, like this area, geographic area that I'm in, that I could literally just, like, hey, give a call and they would drop everything for me. I have a few people that I know that might help me in time, but it's not like that, you know, let's ride kind of deal. Now, I have some people who I know that are going to be like that, but they are geographically far from me. So, you know, it grieves me to a degree that I don't have the network that I want, and I need to do better. I need to be better about doing that. The rich and the poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. Again, wealth and status, man. Our society right now, we see it. See it plain as day. There are wealthy people who stick in their groups, and there are poor people who stick in their groups, and there's resentment and anger. But Yah has made all of us, and we should be trying our best to bridge those divides. And you know what? If we were a good, God-fearing Christian society, there wouldn't be poor. Yeshua said there should be no poor among you. You know, that's kind of one of those things where we need to make sure that if we are well off, then we need to help establish others. And I'm not talking about, like, you know, social welfare, and because honestly, in my opinion, if you give people stuff, they don't have any desire to work on to work for it. There needs to be work. We're commanded to put our hand to the plow. You know, everyone is commanded to do what they can in their means, not just receive. You know, yes, bless the widow and the orphan. Yes, help your neighbor when he's struggling. But don't just give him everything off the backs of others. Don't just take from people and, you know, redistribute. That's I hear that word. We need to redistribute the wealth. It's just like, really? So you're going to take from those who have usually earned? And I get it. There's generational silver spoon families who, those people haven't earned it, but their parents did, or their grandparents did. So why go after someone who put in the work, who set up generational wealth? Why not instead encourage people, you know, and this is across the board, why not instead encourage people to look out for your neighbor? And those who have money, why not encourage them to set up the foundations so that they can be, you know, wealthy, generously wealthy, beyond all means? You know, and that's the society that we should push towards. But right now we have a society full of resentment and hate. And that kind of leads into this next one. A clever one foresees evil and hides himself. If you haven't watched the other videos I've done, if this is your first video that you've seen of me, I have said many times that we are looking at land on a mountain, and we are preparing to buy this land on a mountain, and I'm gonna go be a mountain man. And from the base of the mountain road, like, you know, like the access road to get up to the spot on the mountain, it's like a 25 to 30 minute drive depending on the road conditions. And the road is not paved. It is literally a gravel, clay, dirt road. And my dad was like, well, why do you want to do that? You know, like, you're gonna make it hard on yourself and your kids, and you sure you want to be up there? And I was just like, yeah. A clever one foresees evil and hides himself. I make no allusion to what I think is going to be happening in the next couple of years, or much more rapidly now that certain things have happened, and it grieves me, deeply grieves me, because I pray every day. I say, Yahweh, please just give us more time. Please just allow me and my family to be more prepared. Like, I have ignored, or I have been lax about the warnings that others have been basically shouting from the rooftops. Partly because, we were comfortable in my wife's military career, and partly because, it's the general thing. You just get busy, and you don't realize how fast life is passing you. And so every day I pray. That's why I do this job that I do, that, it takes me away from my family, and I don't like it, but I do it because the money's there. If it was up to me, I'd just do something simple where I could be home every day, but the money's not there. The money is in this. This is the skill that I have, that I can do, that brings in the money. And we need every penny. I was telling my wife, it's great, Yah's been blessing us with finances and money, but we need every penny. Because I have this very deep sinking feeling that we're not going to be ready in time. Like, we're trying to extricate ourselves out of her, my people. Come out of her, come out of the cities. Come out of her, my people. Least you partake of her sins and her plagues. And I just, looking at what's going on around the world, not just in the United States, but just around the world in general, like, not good feelings, people. Not great feelings. Like, there's some serious stuff kicking off, and I don't think the world is prepared. A clever one foresees evil and hides himself. And this is the dual side of the coin, right? I see a lot of people right now, chest beating. Oh, we're gonna fight the evil. We're gonna stand up. We're gonna rise up. God's heavenly army, rise up. Templars, rise. There's a big movement right now in the inner sphere, the internet, the interwebs. There's a big movement right now of return to crusaderism. You know what? And I'd be lying if I wasn't guilty sometimes of, like, beating my chest, being like, yes, the righteous will win, and rah rah rah. But the truth of it is, that's not the way Yah wants us to deal with this. In fact, in Revelations, it says the church, the people, those, and this is a whole nother topic, but who is the remnant, right? Who is the church? And I would submit it's those who have a testimony of Yeshua Messiah, Jesus the Christ, and who keep the commands. Well, what are the commands? I would submit that the first 5 books, what we call the Old Testament, where God laid out specifically what we're to do, those are the commands. And I'm not going to get into that philosophical, well, Jesus came and everything is new, and it's just like, no, covenants stack, they don't replace. They stack. I am Yahweh Sabaoth, I changeth not. Yeah. There's so many good ones here. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he turns not away from it. That's been one of the biggest things in my life right now, is raising my children. And it's hard to do when I drive, because I don't get to spend a lot of time with them. That's why even last night, it would have been easier for me to stay in my truck last night and sleep in my truck last night. But, I was here close to home. So Corinne came and got me, and, we had dinner, and it would have been easier on her too, because she was trying to do schoolwork, but she came and got me so that we could spend the time together, so that I could sleep in bed next to her and the girls, because the girls have a bed, but they keep sneaking into our bed. And so we just kind of let them sleep next to us, because Ezra's good though. He sleeps in his bed. Yeah. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Yeah. Yeah. I know what it's like to be a debt slave. We struggled. All right. I gotta wrap up here, because it's time to get on that clock and go make that money. But let's see. Let me see if there's one more here that really speaks out to me. Yes. Yes. Folly is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline drives it far from him. Whatcha? I do not advocate abusing, but I do advocate discipline. It's been a conversation that Karen and I have been having, because she's one of those gentle nurture parents, and I'm just more like, where's the rod? The rod? Discipline. Butt whoopings. And so we temper each other. We do. She's the nurturer, but man, oh man, sometimes those kids, they need the discipline. So they don't live in folly. No folly. But there's love and discipline, because I don't remember where it says it, but Yahweh reproves those that he loves. It's in one of these Proverbs. Yahweh reproves those that he loves. All right, I gotta get out. I gotta go do stuff. I gotta go drive a truck. All right, shalom.